And good evening everyone who is watching the stream of VOD arrives on air, and welcome to my I don't know, DIY-ish stream. So do we have camera synchronization? So the fan looks a little bit too bright here. Let me check first the sound. I got to know that everything is working the way it's supposed to. The fan looks a little bit too bright here. Okay. Sorry, just on my phone. Checked that it's working. So, good evening everybody. Welcome to the stream. So, this is a little bit too loud to my taste. So, what's going on? A little bit of DIY, a little bit of modding, a little bit of just pretty much doing chores. And today our chore is to prepare this fan to be installed. Really, good evening, welcome. So it's very basic on one side, on another side, I mean the process very basic. On another side, it's kinda, since I want a lot, there's definitely I suffer from feature creep. Is it the right term? I don't remember. I think feature creep, when you just cannot stop adding more and more things to what you want. So it's a basic fan even without a switch. Bathroom extractor fan or kitchen, whatever you want. So no switch, nothing. You're supposed to have switch somewhere else. It's basic, and I bought it because I wanted to modify it from the start. So wireless button, I planned wireless button to be just one of the things. Another thing would have been an Arduino, but I don't have time to figure that out because our current bathroom extractor fan is dead, and I need to install this one as fast as possible. So it's not ready. Let's make it ready. So first of all, it needs a switch, and I'm going to add that wireless switch anyway. But Arduino, like with timers and whatnot, with indicators, that's going to be maybe later, maybe never. They're going to happen. So it's pretty thick. It's already opened, so it's pretty thick. I specifically did that for just to be able to mount all the stuff inside that I wanted to. A miniature power supply, but it ended up being so miniature, like a little bit larger than the nail on my finger. So an Arduino, and then a receiver for the wireless button. So but today it's only the receiver plus additional thing. I have already installed the switch here. Unfortunately, I drilled the plastic with wrong drill, and I ended up getting a very uneven hole, and then I had to manually modify it to fit the switch here. So this switch, it's main power, just in case that wireless button relay, that's from AliExpress, if it gets fused and stops just turning it off, which happens with relays. So this I already just drilled in. So the wireless button receiver, it's a thing like this, and this is wireless button transceiver. So just a button. Works pretty far, like my small apartment, 60 square meters, pretty much from anywhere. But I just needed, because this fan is mounted like up the way close to the ceiling, so I just want this to be like somewhere reachable. Can be mounted on a wall just with double-sided scotch, the scotch tape, double-sided sticky tape, whatever, and yeah. So, and this is the receiver, but we of course not going to use it in its case. So that's why I opened another one. So, and this is the circuit board of the receiver unit. So this will have to fit inside. Plus additional thing, the old fan, yeah, completely worked. It's not working anymore, but the indicator light, I disassembled it, and I found an interesting indicator light there. It's a lamp, not LED, it's a lamp, and it just gets power from the wall, literally 220 to 220 volts or 230. So, and it glows a little bit, not bright, nothing really special. So this one doesn't have an indicator, doesn't have a switch, doesn't have anything. We have to just, I want at least not Arduino, not like a digital indicator, but at least a basic lamp. So I already opened it, already kind of experimented with it a little bit. So first problem that we have before we start installing anything else here is that just give me a sec, is that mounting holes, as you can see, they are in a 60 centimeter square. So 60 centimeter square. My mounting holes are a little bit small, a little bit tighter, closer together. They are 50 centimeter. The fan itself is right. The diameter of the fan itself, the case of the fan, the canal, I guess it's almost like a channel fan. So this is 120, a little bit less even. That'll fit. But we need new mounting holes here, and I was like, I will have to find like the distance on which I'll have to drill it. No, smart people actually took care of it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. There's already a mark in the mold, and I think this one, I don't think I know 100%. This is like exactly for mounting holes that are 50 centimeters. Well, sorry, 50. What am I talking even about? Is it 50? Yeah, 5. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, what am I even talking about? It's not 50, it's 150. 150. I cannot use a ruler anymore. So mine's 150, this one's 160, but there are already holes. 160 already kind of like marks in the mold, in the plastic, for 150 centimeter holes. 150 millimeter, 15 centimeter. Oh god, this is hard. So let's just start with that. I don't usually drill on my desk. I don't like all the dirt it comes from that, but today is a special day, so I'm going to mark the centers here with the thingy. I actually forgot the name of it in English, and it's pretty dull by the way. So, and then I try to use a proper drill bit, proper drill, just to make these holes. That's the first thing before we mounted anything else. I'll start with a small one. All, yeah, all, almost like all. Thank you. So I'm going to pre-drill small holes first. I'm kind of trying to figure out how this plastic works, because I already tried to drill a hole here, and it, well, I didn't use a proper drill. I used a wooden flat drill with wings to drill holes in in wood. Didn't really work with plastic that well. So, and I have the right drills, I just didn't remember about them. So let's start with small ones. One. You probably just can, I don't know, punch holes through it, but I don't want anything to be destroyed here. So I don't want this plastic to get cracks. It's pretty soft, by the way. It's not like it's brittle, pretty elastic. So we have additional holes here. Now let's make them larger. So, and I have actually this thing here. As you can see, I have destroyed it. by drilling through a pretty serious metal. So the 6mm step unfortunately seems to be done on this one. So, but still usable for other steps. Let's see if it can get at least through plastic on 6mm. Otherwise I'd use just a drill bit. So I'm curious if it can still at least do plastic. The metal, yeah, I got destroyed. I drilled through like 3 metal parts and the fourth one that looked pretty close but slightly different. So the fourth one ended up actually destroying the 6mm step. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the 6mm step is not working even on plastic anymore, unfortunately. Okay, I wanted to make these holes stepper bit. Yeah. This one's from AliExpress. I don't know what was the problem. Did they really find an extremely hard, well, piece of metal, or maybe the drill itself is not really that, the drill bit is not really that amazing. So, but I got this 6mm step completely destroyed, unfortunately. So okay, I have already ordered another one, more expensive. This one's from Ali, so maybe so it's kind of really strange that one of the parts, 4 identical parts, almost identical, but one of the parts ended up being a little bit less than the identical. So we will need it though, because it has big steps, so we just cannot use 6. We have to use a separate drill for that. So let's get 6 from here, even 65. That's just standard metal drill bits for metal, for drilling metal. Will of course go through the plastic like through butter, hot knife through butter. Okay. Okay, no, actually this one worked way better than this one. Okay. Okay, no, it is working. I'm making these holes larger because mounting points that are a little bit off there. The previous fan, well, the mounting for the fan was installed by the contractor. I changed that fan only once there. Okay, at least with the right drill bit I can drill it pretty clean. So the plastic is not cracking. As I say, that's pretty soft, pretty elastic. So if it was something a little bit more resilient than plastic, just a little bit, I would have never done it like this and at my desk. But this is, sorry, this is just plastic. You can technically cut it even with sharp and powerful scissors. Here we go. So now we have new mounting holes, and they are larger than technically needed. And yeah, actually looks like proper mounting holes, almost like the ones made on the factory. Okay, so that's way better. When you use at least somewhat right tools for the job, it immediately works better than that was my vacuum cleaner. So we have this ready to be mounted. There's one more problem though. I've added this switch here. See, the hole is a little bit off, even though it has like some sort of overhang supposed to cover badly drilled holes. I managed to drill a hole that bad that even this thing cannot cover. Plus there was opening a hole for a wire here, for a cable coming in, electrical, and I just took a piece of plastic and glued in to cover this hole. So this switch already interferes with this thingy, so I guess they use the same plastic mold for different fans, and this is probably for holding some electronics that maybe other versions of this fan they have. So let's just get rid of one of these things here, just like this. So since we don't have that electronics there, and see if it now closes. Something gets in the way there. I see. This piece that I glued in gets in the way. So I should have cut it a little bit. Okay. I guess we are taking it off, if it's possible still, because I don't think I can cut it here. Maybe I can. Let's see if I can just scratch it maybe, and then try to tear it off. It's again a piece of very soft plastic that I glued in there. If you can see it, yeah, very soft plastic, not really resilient at all. It's a piece of plastic cable duct. Okay, this is actually kind of working. Just got to do it carefully. The glue is pretty good though, holding the whole thing together still. I think if I just bend it inwards there, it might be enough to be able to close the fan. Okay, can I just force it there? It's just glue, but this glue is kinda a little bit plastic active. It used to be, I don't know, they keep changing the recipe. Good evening, gonna get you, welcome. So it melts plastic a little bit, the glue itself. Okay, I guess we're just pulling it apart and then re-adding there again. Okay, I can cut it with big scissors. Gonna get you now. Yeah, a long day, very long day. Here we go. Not the best cut, but should work. Probably going to leave a hole. Let's see. So close this without it. So we just put that back like this to have this. The hole actually gets smaller when the fan's in. So not going. I can to clean off the old glue with a solvent, but man, this is not load bearing part, nothing like that. Just add more glue and call it done. Market. Yeah, the problem is it's not really well, it stays there technically. Just because, but now I cannot move it, see? Because there's still glue left. Something like this. Okay, I need a pen or something. Just give me a second. A pencil. Like this. Okay, so again covering it all in glue. A little bit, again, nothing special. So, and then putting it into place according to the marks. Of course, it drifts a lot. So this glue sets actually not that fast, but not really that slow. If you don't disturb it, it'll stay there more or less. So RJ45 cable through an P6 waterproof gland without cutting up the connector. Yeah, I would recommend getting rid of the connector, then reinstalling it after running the cable through. I've had a problem like that. I actually ended up pretty much installing like pieces of pipes, small, like not 5, like 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters pipes. So gigantic holes, then pipes, to kind of have them a little bit better looking, and run through for the ducts and run through them. So Derek Bury gel filled cable. Wow. Well, I mean, then maybe you can run a less complex cable through it, then from the other side run the less complex cable through it, then connect it with the barrel connector or something better. So just connect two cables on the outside side. So and then like on the other side of the hole, just to run a cable that's not that crazy. So yeah, you end up with additional connection, but I guess you're not running like 10 gigabits on that cable. 1 megabit still should work. Oh, sorry, 1 gigabit still should work with just even several barrel connectors. So okay, we have this going. We have mounting holes already. Now let's do some more drilling. Let's figure out a place for our, so this is the right way. So this is how it is. Let's find a hole for our small indicator lamp. So since it already has wires attached to it, I'm not going to touch it. I will kind of just clamp connectors onto these, and that will let me to actually have the front part detachable, because this is going to be just connectors already there, and this is going to be just connectors. You unscrew it and you disconnect it, and yeah, it just stays the way it just gets separated, front part from the bottom part, back part. So that's why these things, they're going to be mounted here. So there's already like another mark in the plastic here. I don't know if you can see it, it's pretty bright. Yeah, like that. So, and I'm going to try to drill a hole there. So I have a small piece of transparent, translucent plastic that kind of just an indicator window for that light bulb, and it's not LED. This is a lamp, a small light bulb that works directly off 220 volts. So I'm going to install it here, and I'm going to use hot glue to fix it. Sorry, because there's nothing really to attach it to, and I don't want to drill holes and add any like mounting screws or whatever, because this is the front panel. So I want the front panel clean, I need it clean, so let's just do it the same way we did it previously. So I've already measured it. This is like 1 centimeter thingy. So even though we have 6 millimeter here destroyed, but once 8 millimeters and 10 millimeters, we're still okay on this bit. So, and should I try to do it from inside? I guess let's mark the center more or less. not needed, just to avoid the drill bit sliding around. Put first something small to pilot the hole. I'm not good at drilling things, so I try to pilot everything. No wobble. Here we go. We just destroyed the front panel look. Okay, now we have to do 6 millimeter, so we'll have to, like, 6 millimeters going to be a little bit hard to do at once. Pilot, yeah. I'm going to use this one 2 times because I destroyed the 6 millimeter step. Yeah, this one is perfect. If only the 6 millimeter was still alive. Yeah, they're separate one. So unfortunately not that sharp when it comes to plastic. Just a cheap set. Oh no, actually worked like a charm. Okay, drilling them in steps actually makes things way easier. That's why I guess they invented these stepper bits. Just a second. Mm-hmm. 100%. So now we need just, so the first one going to be 8 millimeter step, and the next one is 1 centimeter step. Yeah, I think I damaged 8 millimeter part 2 on this one. At least 1 centimeter part should be still there. Well, I mean, do I have yeah, I have, again, for metal, but I have 8 millimeter drill bits. But 1 centimeter, yeah, I don't have those. Bit of filing should fix it. Now that's properly that. This part, 6 millimeter, got completely melted off, I think. It's not even 6 millimeter in diameter anymore, I think. This one maybe 8 millimeter, maybe salvageable. But yeah, it was just overheating like crazy. I tried to cool it down when I was drilling, but yeah, wrong material, wrong bit, everything wrong. 8 millimeter bit. Which one's 8? God knows, there's just a bunch of them. This one looks like 10, and it is. Here, just give me a sec. looks like 8. Let me measure it. Yeah, it's more like 9. Well, technically will do. Just give me a sec. So just a second, I have it, I know. Yeah, here we go. Just bought it recently for drilling properly through metal. So this is 8. I've used it already, actually. Yeah, I forgot to drill through some metal parts, and yeah, that worked absolutely okay. That was fast. So this is 8 mil, which is not enough for this translucent part for the indicator, so we have to use this one then. So this one should give us 1 millimeter, 1 centimeter. What the hell? Barely getting through. Yeah. Looks to be turning the wrong way. No. This is the right way. That's the cutting edge. Yep. So let's see if this part goes in. Not really. Well, I mean, it does actually. Oh boy. I'm not going to need any glue for this part. The hole is a little bit smaller than the part itself, so it's just going to stay there like forever. Yeah, as tight as it gets. Here we go. Well, not in line with the logo here, so but yeah, looks factory. Looks actually very well installed. So it's a little bit bright when it comes to just looking at this white fan, and it's a little bit dark if I readjust it like this. Okay, if there's something wrong with the image, focus, darkness, brightness, contrast, tell me please right away. So enough drilling. Then we'll have to leave it like this here. But first, let's install some sort of connectors to these leads. So something small that doesn't consume any power at all, I suppose. The current is microscopic, so I'm just going to use this stuff. The smallest ones, like these ones. So should be okay. The color doesn't matter, there's no polarity. When it comes to the mains, there's like phase and zero and ground or earth. So it's supposed to be like that. So I will of course use some shrink on it to protect it from just its 220 volts. So I will add some shrink on top of it, but that at least will be disconnectable easily. And small connectors, I don't want something big really there. So give me a second. I need the tool to clamp them down. This one probably should work. Here we go. Let's see if it works. The diameter is really the smallest one I have. So let's see if it just stays there. The other way around. Oops. Oops. Can we clamp this piece? Oops, destroyed it a little bit, but it's there. I destroyed the insulation. Okay, so let's manually. Yeah, I totally destroyed the insulation, so got to reclamp it, because one part got clamped onto the wire, another side is just coming through now, which is absolutely something we don't need, but it's holding there actually very well. Okay, this one was longer anyway, so I can just cut it, I guess. Nope. This is very tight. Doesn't look like it would be that tight, but it is very tight. Didn't look at it's going to be like sitting that well, but it is actually. No, have to cut it just right there. Okay, first attempt at this really small connectors didn't really work that well. Another attempt. They're going to be slightly different in length, but that doesn't matter because this is just going to be hidden inside, not going to route it or anything. So let's make it this time like this. This time it didn't work that well. Okay, you actually put them in there. Which side? Okay, learning our lessons here with these thingies. So let's try side to side. Yeah. Didn't work. Okay, I have enough of them, don't worry. Small ones, they seem to be a little bit harder. The big one is okay. But it got destroyed. Okay. Maybe let's use the larger clamp here. Like the largest one. Interesting. Is it just too thin for this? Okay. If it's too thin, let's make it a little bit more thick. Didn't expect a problem here. Here we go, just double the wire. Okay, let's see. How would you actually approach? Like oh yeah. Thank you.
Lounge FM Chill Out.
Here we go. Can you hear me now? You should be able to without any problems. So cutting out is this thingy, just the battery getting discharged. That's what it is. Battery low pretty much. Okay, it's there, not moving. So I think I found the way to clamp them on the right way. Yeah, if stuff like that happens, tell me right away. That's just batteries. in the transceiver. The receiver is a device that's wall powered. Okay, so we did it from this side that time. Here you go. Did it work? Aha, in a very interesting way. I can move it forward, but I can't pull it. I cannot pull it out. Let's add a little bit of clamping force there. Doesn't look that good, but definitely not going anywhere. Plus now we have the leads of the same size. Okay, hot gun, hot glue gun. Pretty basic stuff. Takes actually time to get hot. It's Wolf, morning. Welcome. So just giving it a minute to start melting. So, well, technically you're supposed to wipe it with like some solvent, acetone or something to make it a little bit more susceptible to adhesion. So I have a little bit of just alcohol wipes here, if I actually have them. Well, these are not alcohol, but will do. So just to have it, yeah, cleaner. Here we go. So while we are working on that, while this is getting dry and the glue gun is actually getting heated up, so let's start. Crap, I cannot use my soldering iron at the same time. Don't have enough. Well, I have. So let's start just then finding the right spots for it. I forgot the one thing. I forgot the right spots. The right spot for the cable installed by the contractor to actually enter the fan. It's like, I don't know why, it's somewhere here on the old fan, and I guess it's going to be somewhere here on the new fan. So there's like this thing here. It's for strength, for structural strength, so we have to drill a hole somewhere here, and it has to be pretty big, because the contractor installed a pretty serious cable there. Like I was going to run, not a fan that consumes like what side. That's the hole we haven't drilled. Again, there is some marks in the mold that I can use for that, and I will actually do that. So, a second. First the small hole, the pilot hole, then the big one. And the big one has to be, oh, I don't even know if I can drill a hole this big here. On the old fan, the hole wasn't really drilled, it was just like the plastic panel was just broken through by the look of it. Here we go, that'll do for a start. Yeah, I will need a longish and widerish drill bit here, and all I have is just 6 millimeters. Okay, let's use this one. This one seems to be extremely sharp. It's new, it's cheap as hell, but these days I buy everything just looking at reviews, and the reviews were like, yeah, these are cheap but they're pretty good. Trying to push a plug through a small hole. Yeah, what about using just 2 cables? Have you thought of it? Just the cable you can cut, you run through, and you connect it to the cable you cannot cut on the other side. So would it work? Okay, that's a little bit too sharp for this plastic. It's not drilling it really, it's just cutting it. Yeah, doesn't matter if this hole is ugly, it's hidden. The ground repeater. Well, I mean, if it has already a repeater, then technically with something like a barrel connector, or these connectors will have to like punch wires into it, so you should be good with that. Oh yeah, it's not really drilling. Okay, if nothing helps, do it in the other direction. Okay. Yeah. This hole is very small, and I don't think I can actually use this bit here. Yeah, I cannot really. Maybe one step in and it'll start touching the case of the duct of the fan. So yeah, maybe I have some old stupid dull drill bits for that. Let's see, 12 millimeters should be like enough. Maybe I have something like that. So let me get rid of this. This is my desk where I play games, and this is my PC desk, so I'm not leaving any mess here. I don't really usually drill plastic or anything here, so let me take a look if I have something else to make a big hole. Yeah, I have actually. Yeah, I have a Forstner's bit, and that will create a freaking one hell of a mess there. So this is 12 millimeters I found, not Forstner, normal. I cannot mount it in this one. Freaking hell. This one is simply too small. Oh boy. Okay. Time to use that Forstner doll. Might not work since there's already a big hole. So have this. And I will do it on the floor, so you are not going to see it. It will be a little bit easier to get rid of the mess there. So like this. Maybe it works, but it'll create a ton of a mess, so give me a second. Need to put something under it. Just a sec. A piece of wood, a piece of some sort of panel. So let me make this gigantic hole without turning my desk into a huge mess. So wish me luck here. You cannot see it. I don't have cameras on the floor. Well, not the best hole, but the original hole in the other fan is even worse than this. This one is at least round. So let me show it to you. Here we go. But we can tell that we can say that probably after what I did to this fan, I have to marry it. Okay, and the hole is there because that's where the hole is in the broken fan, currently installed one. So that's where the contractor ran the cable. So now the glue gun is ready. So let's just place it where it's supposed to be, just next to this small window, a little bit diagonally. And cover everything in this glue. Okay. Now this puddle of hot glue is going to take some time to actually get cool. And we have to wait just because otherwise the scene just moves and jumps away. Gonna marry to his fan like a proper rock star. Yep. I'm only adding this indicator because I opened the old fan, the broken one, and found that the indicators there still working, easily detachable, easily reusable. So oops, still moving. God, stop moving already. Probably should have used like maybe a drop of a real super glue or something there. Dangling, dangling. Yeah, names people have on Twitch. Well, I've always had. Thank you for the follow. Nice DZ noise. It's not DZ, it's actually Stalker. It's from Stalker. That's the compact PC noises, like when it receives messages and whatnot. So it predates DZ a little bit. Maybe somebody reused it in one of the Stalker mods. Yeah, well, somebody remember that. Are we still streaming? Yeah, we are still streaming. Okay. Okay, I don't need to hold it anymore. More or less in place. So yeah, so this part's ready now. Now actually the electrical part, we have all the holes ran. All the holes are already drilled, so now it's time to start working on the electrical part. So I will do a little bit of soldering here. The solder is already hot, which is good. The soldering iron, sorry. So let's start finally assembling the thing, assembling the electricals. So as less soldering as possible. But we will need some. So first of all, I'm planning to put the transceiver of the radio button just right here. It kind of wedges in there like this and stays. Maybe I will add a little bit of hot glue, but I don't really think it's needed, because once it wedged in there, it's not going anywhere. So, but this is the input, and the input two cables, and they are a little bit too short to get to this hole, where I will use a connector of this type to connect it to the mains that that will go in through the mains cable that will go in through this hole. So there's actually this thing here that technically supposed to be like that, just a larger one, not that small one. But I'm afraid that maybe these wires, the cable that comes in with the power, might be a little bit short-ish. So maybe if you do it like this, so comes in here, comes in there, but still these two are a little bit too short. And then as for these ones are okay. I'm just going to use actually this connector here. We will need a hole to keep it in there. So let's see if I can mark it. So, but you stay in here, you go here. The principle of this thing is very simple. It has integrated power supply, and you send the mains here, 220 volts, and when it gets the radio signal from the button, receiver, it's receiver, not transceiver, receiver, it just activates this relay and sends the 220 volts, lets pretty much it pass through. So that's it. That's why it's as simple as that. It's not really electronics, it's just very basic stuff. So the placement of the board's going to be here. We will need longer wires here. Here we don't need any longer wires. So that's why I said we're going to need a little bit of soldering here, because these ones, they are a little bit too short. What they soldered on here, actually, the leads, they're a little bit crazy. They're like crazy, properly crazy maybe even, because, well, they stated, the seller, the manufacturer, they stated that this bloody thing is rated for like 10 amps on 220 volts. Yeah, right. I mean, the relay is indeed, let me actually show it to you like that. The relay is indeed rated at 5 amps. 5 amps. Okay, so it's not 10, of course, and I don't think this relay can handle 5 amps at 220 volts. So that will be a little bit too much for the poor thing. So I've used this device already once for wireless switch for water heater that was placed well, outside the house, like rural house in a village pretty much. Microamps, yeah, they probably did, yeah, mean microamps. Okay. Is it in focus? More or less, maybe a little bit zoom out. Yeah, like this. Zoom out a little bit. So we need to get these ones out and solder in a slightly longer ones, just to have it a little bit like this, just to have it a little bit pretty much a little bit longer. That's the only reason to have different cables in there. Oh, come on, why you all just became loose all of a sudden? hold in there, yeah, like that. Focused? Yep, more or less. Here we go. One's out. Come on. Here we go, another one out. So let's see if I can find something that has roughly the same size. There was a piece of a cable, more like just a couple wires, that the fan had initially. The short lead. So, and it looked kind of thin. Let's see if we can use that. Yeah. Just got to. So, just got to remove this insulation here. Oh, it's holding there. Pretty tight cable. A short piece should be sliding in. Should be sliding inside the wires inside this sleeve, but nope, not really. Moving. Only slightly. Yeah. So cutting the sleeve. It's not something I wanna do. Yeah, now I see. The sleeve is pretty thick. I didn't even cut through it with a knife. I wanted to make it a little bit tight in the end to make them slide out more easily. Just like that. Here we go. Tearing something apart always works. So here we have pretty nice looking couple wires here that are of the perfect length for us, even a little bit more longer than we need. So let's measure. Oops. Let's measure it.
Continues to work thanks
kind of going to be like here and then here. Well, can be a little bit even, can be a little bit shorter, but let's not really risk it. So all sorts of connectors inside this fan going to be used, but I guess this is okay. Oh, wait a second, this one got its insulation cut a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to cut another piece, I'll use just a shrink tube. I'm using my teeth to actually remove the insulation. That's how it's done professionally. A little bit longer on this side. Here we go. Now let's cover them and solder. Good dental plan. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's soft, come on. Not going to need dentist help with this. So I cannot really add a ton of solder to them because I have to, I got to be able to run them through the holes of the board. By the way, where is it? Let's just check it if I can still. Well, oh, this hole just collapsed. Okay, it'll get through when we heat it up a little bit. It'll get through. The diameter is just right. Just a second. Trying to figure out where do I have the focus here. Somewhere here. Oops, oops, that is interesting. It got untangled all of a sudden. Like it's a springed out a little bit again. So this one might not be small enough now to go through the hole, but we'll still try to get it through, because why not? On the other side of these, yeah, I'm going to use, like, what are they called, capsules? Ooh, where are they? Just a second. To prevent the small strands from just getting cut by a screw clamping them down. So doing things really properly tonight here. So this one's a little bit even too big. Here we go. This one sits perfectly. And oh, the clamping force of this one actually has gone down. But it's there, it's not moving. So this is this thing. So that keeps all the strands together without soldering anything. Cutting off the excess of it. So as we just witnessed, these wires are pretty strange. The strands tend to get untwisted, even if you twist them good. Here we go. I don't think we're going to need this anymore. No, we are going to need this anymore. We are going to need this. We're going to need this anymore. Here we go. So more or less something like that. Fluffy Jaffa, good evening, welcome. So now let's try to run this stuff through here. Oh boy. Like this. Copper plated aluminum, God knows, looks like just copper. Looks just like normal copper, but who knows, Chinese stuff. So probably should turn it the other way around. Let's see if I still can run through. So the color coding is just, I guess I'm going to use the standard because this is not standard at all here. Well, I mean, but it's just, you know, phase and zero doesn't really matter. And this might not be able to go through. I will try, of course, to just force it in. Nope, that's in. I will add a little bit of solder on the other side. So the holes are larger than they looked. Here we go. Yeah,
It's Lounge FM.
just a little bit of solder on the other side. Just a little bit. Just to be 100% sure. Because I didn't see what I was doing. Like that. As you can see, I'm soldering in a pretty old way. Pine rosin flux, lots of it, and just, well, vapors of lead tin solder. So a little bit dirty, but that's okay, not a big deal. Can wash it off if I want to with just alcohol, or keep it on there. Should not really going to change anything. Not going to eat through the board. This is pine rosin. This is not something hardcore. Okay, checking if everything is okay on this side. Not that okay. This one got moved out a little bit. So I want to just sit them in there. I want them to sit in there completely with the insulation touching the PCB, like that, a little bit melting even into the PCB. So like this, like, not a big deal. Let's see. So just like this. So yeah, these leads, they are pretty crappy. These ones, that was just a piece of the fan cable. This looks okay. So these ones, I bet if I start like bending them here, they'll just come off. So if this goes here, just wedged in there like this, quite some actually things in this build getting simply wedged. So this goes here, connects to this here, and then I made a mistake. I forgot about this button here that's supposed to turn the whole thing on and off. So I guess one of them goes to the button, another of them to the switch, another of them goes here. So like this. So technically we're switching phase. So the button is here, like this. So we will need a couple more wires, and this has to have a slightly different thing on it. This has to have actually this thing on the end of it. Okay, can we just clamp one on another? I'm just curious. Oh, look at this. It fits inside this one perfectly. Like, let's see if we can do it just like that. if it works. Where's the tool? Oh yeah, this is tight. This is not going anywhere. I'm trying to pull it apart. So this is for the button. Okay, this is the recipe then. First put that, what's called, casing, and then this connector. So now we need to a piece of wire that will go from here to here, that length roughly. Let me find something suitable. Just a little bit of wire, something thin preferably, of course, relatively of the same thickness. Going to be a problem though. Oh, wait a second. Crap, this is too short. I have a different color, I think. Oh yeah. So I'm just going to use a different color. Ah, wait a second, no, there is something. Yeah, found it. Pretty much the same thickness and the same color. And it will go from here to here, like this. Something like this length. Might get a little bit tight. Oh, actually no. Should be 100% okay. Okay, so this goes here and one side of this one goes there. Okay, let's prepare this short piece of cable. Again, using my teeth, of course, to remove the insulation. One side. That's a little bit too long. Because there's a little bit of solder on the end of this one. So now couple these thingies to keep the strands nice and tight. Are you in there? Seem to be.
The best relaxing music.
Here we go. not going anywhere. Same here. Cut the part of it that has solder on it from some previous usage. So this stuff is for 220 volts for the mains. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, clamping everything I can. Use these thingies, these connectors and whatnot that can be very tight. So this thing, yeah, not made by me, so cannot really do anything to it. But what depends on me here, I'm trying to make it as reliable as possible. Not going anywhere. I'm pulling the insulation off even. Let's add maybe a little bit of, yeah, just like that. So this is for the button and goes like that, and this goes like that. Okay, actually, let's see if I have the right terminal for it. I have a bunch. For example, this one. Something like this. So this seemed to be a little bit too thin to the size, for the size of this terminal, but I mean, technically should still work. Let's see. Not going anywhere. And what's the most important part? This thing is not moving inside in any way. This is not moving either, even so, yeah, it's just wedged. Flat screws, don't like them, but what you gonna do? Like this. Okay, so this is pretty much where the mains come in. Should be pretty easy to connect and screw, unless the piece of the cable we have coming out of the wall is really that short as it looks. I hope it's not. Well, I mean, I cannot show you this in my bathroom, so I'm not going to run there with my phone. So now we have to prepare this connection here, the output of the wireless switch that goes to the motor and to this indicator. So Yeah, I will have to insulate them very well. So I will put on some thermal shrink. I'm talking about these two because they're going to be like that. That's going to need some serious insulation, but at least, oops, it will be possible to disconnect when needed. So, and the way that I place the switch here, this is just away from water. If there are splashes, it'll come. They'll come from this side, splashes of water. So they'll never come from this side. So technically, there's one big hole in here, so it doesn't really matter. But still. So I forgot about one small hole that I wanted to drill here for this thingy, to connect this and this. I think I won't be able to put any capsules on this one, so whatever. So can I just mark it like this? Is it even? Oh yeah, this hole's going to be pretty close to this hole here, square hole for something else. That's I'm not using, of course. Okay, just a second. Oops. Left my drill, cordless drill, on the floor here with that Forstner in it. So we need like a 3mm hole for 3mm screw. Perfect. Three millimeter nut and bolt, not screw. Okay, I hope we are not going to need the drill anymore. Here we go. So this goes here and stays there, and for that I have a box of M3 nuts and bolts. Are you long enough? Are you big? No, this is not going to go through. We need 4mm, of course. 4mm hole for the 3mm bolt. Maybe it wasn't actually 3mm. I got to measure the drill bits to actually know the exact size of them. Just a second. This one's 3. Okay, that one was probably 2.5 or maybe even 2. My bad. slightly larger. Okay, let's see if it actually lets 3 millimeter bolt through. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, cool, nice. So we need the one with the flattest head, like this, and then put this thing on here, and it's not long enough, just a little bit. Okay. This one's slightly longer, but the head is not that flat. Will I be able to fit a bolt in there? Not in there. I'm just curious. It's going to be like some interesting work. Here we go. Yeah, with the conic heads I don't have the ones that are that long. More or less like that. Like this. Are you going? Yeah, nah, not going to fit in there. Not going to fit in there. Okay, the other way around. Not going to fit in there too. Freaking hell. Should be possible to mount them. But that's M3. I have M2, but they are really short ones. So yeah, just a corkscrew from underneath. Yeah, just the standard one. I didn't want to go that way. Yeah, this one's not going to fit there anyway. Okay, corkscrew that is. Let's just try another screw, and another bolt. Okay, a little bit unexpected. The size of the bolts itself, yeah, it's okay, but the nut, the heads, yeah, not going through. So let's use something big then, and short. So I have actually a separate box with the stuff here. Let me find it. Here it is. So something like this. Or something a little bit thinner. something like this. Too thin. Too long. Just a second. Vibrant resistant, yeah, actually, yeah. There is that. There is that. 100%. This one's okay, but too long. And this thing is going to be vibrating, so cannot avoid that. This is a fan. Okay, this one's a little bit going to be a little bit too much for the poor thing. This one might be okay. So yeah, not really the best placement for the hole. So I might have to destroy this ring here a little bit just to be able to set screw the screw in completely flush. Well, that's a little bit better. Let me just remove this central piece. Soft plastic. If you drill bit sharp, yeah, drills very well. That kind of compromises structural integrity a little bit of the thing here on this side, but yeah, what you gonna do if you need a screw in there? Sorry. Like this. Perfect. No control system. I don't have a smart home and I'm not going to have one. Not really interested. So this is just remote controlled because this fan didn't even have a switch. So the initial plan was to add like still on one remote control button, to use it to control like a little bit slightly complex logic in here, but as you can see there's no logic right now, so I'm not adding that. So just because don't have time for this anymore. I mean, the fan that this fan's supposed to replace, that fan's dead, and we need this one installed and working well fast. Cannot be waiting anymore. Yeah, of course these ones are destroyed. Technically they sit in there, yeah. So I can clamp them just to have them a little bit more protected, maybe. Yeah, okay. Let's do this since it's possible. this, and this one here, and then a little bit offset. Here we go, double clamping, should still fit in there. Go out of the way. Goodie. Here we go, one and another. So I wanted to add Arduino here and with a digital screen, just to be able to program the timer with one button, like one press, 15 minutes, two presses, 30 minutes, timer that would turn off the fan. So like, then maybe a humidity, some sort of sensor, maybe. The idea was just to start with a timer, but yeah, don't have time to figure out that stuff with Arduino. Got to just do this the way I can do it in just in a couple of hours. Okay. Now these connectors here. These are freaking yeah, not the best way to connect it, but how the other way? Is there the other way to make the front panel disconnectable? No. The front panel here originally wasn't supposed to have any active elements, but we added some. We added this, and we added I added this. So even though it's kind of easier with this one because it has terminals that are not moving, this one has terminals that are moving. So these are a dangerous thing. We'll have to insulate them, but after I insulate them, it's still will be possible to disconnect, but unless, no, I don't have like anything that I would just mount like here and then connect this to that part. So I guess it's time for, it will be time for some pretty long thermal shrinking tubes. Okay, we need more wires, I just realized. So let's get more wires then. Is this enough? No, this is not really enough. So we'll have to use two blue ones, I guess, because like this. Yeah. There's no polarity here, only phase and zero. This one this thing, because it's made of plastic, it doesn't have a metal case, it doesn't have actually a proper grounding. The things that have metal case supposed to have proper grounding, but this thing, yeah. Okay. Hope the length is going to be enough. So first of all, these are getting paired with these two and held, going to be held in there. So let's just twist them together and then use another what's called capsule casing. Like this. Yeah, don't really want to stay together, but they will. Because of this, they will. Now they are connected and clamped. So this one will do slightly differently. Yeah, already in a bad shape. This small piece of wire is, the strands are bent in all possible directions. So like this, and then another one goes on here, like this. I'm probably not going to need the hot soldering iron anymore, and the cold one, any soldering iron, and with a little bit of offset. Here we go. That's what it looks like with a little bit of offset. Double clamp with a little bit of offset. So let's see if I can, if they are long enough now. Because maybe they are not. Oops. This thing gets a little bit in the way. Here we go. got to remember that there is technically 220 volts everywhere. So going to be, so everything here looks solid. This goes, this, yeah, this will need its own thermal shrinks. And this is the most annoying part, because it's only for the indicator, nothing else, just an indicator. This one's tight. This one has a little bit solder left on it from some previous use. That's why another casing. Here we go. So okay, and now this goes here. Like this. So don't know actually what's the right way to clamp them down. Empirically I figured out that it's something like this. So, and this one here. This one's a little bit larger and sits a little bit tighter. Okay, two connectors are done here. Time for some pretty big thermal shrinks and insulating this, connecting everything and testing it. Just a second. Tubes. I have a bunch from Ali of all sizes, but I have some leftovers from like previous from different projects, and just okay, this is a little bit too tight, not going to work. So let's find just the right size. Perfect. So I can just do it like this. Then for test, I'll just for the next test I'll just move them on. Do I have another one like this? I don't think so. only have something larger. Yep. Need them to be able to move freely on these wires. This one's a little bit too big, but what? Okay. Okay, then this back here. Any long ones? The long ones are not of the right size. Okay. Technically I don't need them that long, but right now for testing. This blue one looks a little bit like it's a little bit smaller. Okay, now this. Got to deal with these pieces. Technically, since the terminals for these are not moving anywhere, technically they don't really need like insulation, but we can still add it like this, and it won't change really anything in terms of like functionality. So just like this. Come on. Like this. Like this. Here we go. A little bit more insulated connector. Ooh, this one's big here. Okay, we'll need another one. Sorry. This one, I think, not that tight. Hope it still sits tight after shrinking. More or less. Okay. Okay then. Let's test this thing. So the receiver already I already trained it, I mean with this button, so it should remember the frequency of this button. So this switch, what we need to run some power in. Just give me a sec, sorry. And oops. And try to close the case properly the way it should be. So la, 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 la. So that's our power in. Hey, open up like that. Okay, here we go. Now this. So these ones, they are not supposed to be connected and disconnected many times. They get a little bit loose, but always can make them a little bit tighter. Like this. Like this. Then the indicator stuff, and this goes there. Just like this. Not shrinking them for now because I'll disconnect it for installing the fan. But they actually hold in there pretty nicely. Oh yeah, yeah. Now this got to move it out of the way of the fan. Closed. It is closed. So switch here. This is as closed as it gets, so not seeing any wires sticking out of anywhere. So then let me get a receptacle with a switch on it. So I hope it has, like, I hope this one has a breaker in it. It has actually breaker in it, yeah. So if the breaker pops, then it's going to pop in this one. The magic smoke test. Yeah, it's not going to be smoke, it's going to be just, well, power lost situation. I should actually mount a separate, like, automatic circuit breaker for this stuff. Okay, you go here. Alright. This one is not UPS. Just give me a sec. I have a ton of give me a sec. I have a ton of outlets mounted under the desk. They are convenient when you got just something. Got just something to keep connected there, but if you need something to just plug in and plug out. Okay, so power on. The first one is on. So the fan's off completely. Now it's armed, and can you hear it working? Here you go. Well, no smoke, no breakers popped, everything just the way it's supposed to be. All's well. And the indicator that we added here, it works. So the indicator, the indicating lamp for it, I've salvaged from the old fan. The motor is dead there, but this thing was okay. I even salvaged this translucent piece. Okay, I like how it works. Okay, off. And when it's off, this is just a precautionary switch, because I'm not really that, I don't really think, I suspect that this wireless receiver with its relay might be not that reliable, especially if relay is kind of like not really what it's really rated for, if it's weak or something. So, and what usually happens to them, they get stuck in they get fused in connected state, in the activated state. So, and this is just a precautionary switch to be able to turn the fan off if the relay gets fused in that small Chinese board. Here we go. But amazing, we've done it. So of course now it has to come apart again. So, but for now it stays like that, a little bit assembled. When I install it, I will shrink all those gigantic thermal shrinks there. I'll shrink them, so that will make it harder to disassemble, but still possible. So just would have to tear them apart, and well, I shrink them, and then I just screw the front panel. The front panel is not supposed to have any active elements, but we added some. Unfortunately, yeah, that's what happens when you drill holes without the proper drill bits. So, and I had a proper drill bit. I totally forgot about it. So again, the thing's supposed to be kind of like at least splash resistant, I think. Yeah, there is no IPX4. What's rated? What is it rated for? IPX4. IPX4 water resistance. Splashing water no matter the direction. Okay, so it's IPX4 rated. Well, the motor, I guess, was was rated IPX4. Now it's obviously not IPX4, but since the only hole we added, big hole we added, it's here, and the splashing water would come from this direction if it happens. So like this, never from this direction. So this should be absolutely okay. So plus there is like sort of a drain here, so for the water not to stay inside the case. So sort of a drain. So yeah, okay, cool. We've done it. It works, and amazing. Something at least worked the way I was expected it to. I was planning to make it work. It hasn't been a thing lately. Half of these DIY streams would end like with me either just calling it a day before achieving what I wanted to, like assembling a PC. I actually spent 4 streams to upgrade my main rig technically. So, or some of them would just end in me not getting what I wanted. So here we go. By the way, Willy, if you are still here, that's the overhead cam on the new mount that I bought. Well, I mean, I bought it quite some time ago already, so it's been pretty long. This is the first time I'm using that what's called that type of mount that allows to change position and length and whatnot. So actually I think maybe I can show it even to you. So this type of mount, and it's mounted to the wall, not to the desk. That's why I can hit my desk all I want. This camera stays just stable, which is nice after all these years of having just a microphone stand with adapter behind my desk that would be pretty much wedged between the desk and the wall, and every time I simply just touch my desk, let alone hit it, it would start shaking like crazy. So this one only shakes when I touch it. So here we go. Thank you very much for watching. This is it for tonight. Dangling Wang. What a name. Thank you for the follow. Let's find somebody to rate, just the way we usually do that in the end of the stream. This time, of course, let's first take a look at the same section we are currently in, science and technology. Well, there's been so much science during the stream, so much. Okay, at least the title of my stream was properly visible and it was giving immediate explanation of what was happening in the stream. Modding a bathroom extractor fan. So I think I've rated this guy. Okay, if I don't know who to rate on the science and technology, then let's take a look at my following page. That's somebody who I haven't seen streaming in a while. A friend of the channel, Trista, one of the first subscribers to this channel from like 2016, 2017. I haven't seen her streaming like I think ever. Maybe because we really live in different time zones completely. Let's go and say hello to Trista. Trista K. Can we raid her? Yeah, we can. The link goes in the chat. She's playing Fortnite. She'll be glad to see us. So, yeah, this is actually a very nice opportunity. Should have done this stream even if nothing worked, even if like the fan just got completely blown up. Raiding Trista would have just fixed it. I mean, made it like way better, made it worth it. So see you all tomorrow. That's it for tonight. Goodbye and good night. Let's go and say hi to Trista.